Welcome to the Doc of Detox show, everyone. I'm Dr. Daryl Wolf. I'm your host, and this is another detox special. And today's show is called The Calcium Connection. And what this is today is this is actually a live Q&A. So let's get some life out there, okay? Let's get the questions coming in because I'll tell you something right now. There has not been another product or supplement that has been researched more than calcium. Calcium has been researched more than any other product on this planet. And guess what? It just happens that if you take a look at all the minerals that are on the planet, there's more calcium than any other mineral. If you take a look at all the minerals that are in your body, there is no more abundant mineral than calcium in the human body. And there's a real good reason for that, because whether you realize this or not, calcium is responsible for 100,000 different processes in the human body in just 1 second. 1 second. So we know how valuable it is, but guess what? Since the very time that I started into the health business, which was 38 years ago, did you know that I have never, ever carried a calcium product? Now, why couldn't I carry a calcium product? Because I knew back almost 40 years ago, because of all the research that was done, that every calcium product actually created the problem that they advertised, that they said they were actually going to get rid of. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Go into your health food store right now. Go to the pharmacy store right now, and you're going to see all kinds of calcium products, and they cause osteoporosis. They can lead to autoimmune disease. They can even help with dementia. Why? Well, because none of this calcium can be actually utilized by the human body. It can't be broken down, because what you're really looking for is you're looking for ions, calcium ions. Okay, I want you to get this. This is really, really super important, okay? Now, here's the deal. It's not actually the supplement, the physical part of the calcium that actually does the work. It's the ions that are invisible to the eye. Did you get that? And nobody's been ever able to actually create a supplement or a treatment up until now that would actually be able to work like this and to actually be able to trigger this 100,000 chemical and hormonal processes that happen in the body every second. So that's why we're here today, to talk about something that is so revolutionary. I mean, people talk about this and they say that it's probably the biggest nutritional breakthrough in the last 75 to 100 years. And I'll tell you something right now. Like I said before, nobody's talked about it before because nobody had actually discovered a way or a product that would do what we need to do. I mean, I hope you realize that by the time you're 35 years old, your sexual hormones and your growth hormones have taken a real dip. And when they take a real dip, then you're unable to actually make the calcium and break the calcium down properly to create the ion that actually does this process. So what if I told you that there was a product, which we're going to talk about today, called SAC, Sigma Antibonding Calcium, that actually will pull this off, that actually a product that actually can end the story to osteoporosis, that you do not have to take any more chemicals, any more drugs, that you don't have to worry about falling down because your bones are going to get brittle and break, that you don't have to be diagnosed with osteopenia or even osteoporosis. That would actually, what about all the calcium stones that are in your gallbladder, your kidneys, the calcium stones that are found in your breasts? Or wait a minute, they're found in your joints. They're found in all the tissues of your whole body. And what if I told you that we had a product right now that would take all that calcium and lovingly and gently bring it back into your bones and give you the bone structure of a 35-year-old? We're telling you that that product is what we're going to be talking about today. So, together, we will transform your life and expand your mind so that you and your family will uncover and discover the unseen healer from within. So today with me is Jay Lee, okay, who is the CEO of Sigma Antibonding Calcium. And guess what? He's here today to answer all your life-saving, life-changing questions about this product. All right, so Jay, how are you?
I'm doing fine. Thank you, Dr. Wolf. Thank you for inviting me here. Excited about this.
Yes. And for those of you who just joined us, if you haven't seen the 4-part series, The Calcium Connection, just go to docofdetoxshow.com and go to Doc Talk, and you'll be able to log in and watch this. Okay, we've had many people calling, and I'm going to start off by, if it's okay, Jay,
Hmm.
why don't you, could you explain why this product is not actually a supplement, it's a treatment, and why this product is different than everything else that's ever come across the table, okay?
All right, here we go. First of all, SAC calcium is not really calcium supplementation because the amount of calcium they were putting in one dose is about 5 milligrams. Now you go out there in health store and you buy regular calcium supplements. You get 1,000 milligrams, 700, 500 milligrams. We're just putting 5 milligrams. But these 5 milligrams of calcium goes in directly as calcium ions, and it triggers responses in our body to start building bone. So it's actually detected by our pituitary gland, and then it stimulates our thyroid gland to emit calcitonin, which initiates osteoblast, which is bone building process. So when this bone building process starts, it actually takes all that excess calcium and the wrong deposits in our body, and it brings back to our bones. So it's actually a very tiny amount just to trigger our body's natural response. That's it. That's why instead of calling it supplementation, I would like to call it more like a therapy.
Yeah, so Jay, and what we're really talking about here, everyone, is we're talking about a product that is based on frequency. Okay, you know, if you've watched my show before, you know that we are light energy beings, and some people will find that hard to swallow. But the thing is that we run off of frequencies. Everything you eat, everything you drink is going to leave the body. The only thing that stays behind is the frequency. So we're going to get rid of the whole physical supplementation issue, and what we're going to do is we're going to bring to you products that are very high in vibration, very high in frequency, that actually trigger the chemicals and the hormones that create the responses to create a healthy body. Does that sound right, Jay?
Yeah, calcium ion is considered a second messenger. That's how our body communicates. We can actually listen to how all the cellular organelles communicate during the time of, let's say, going through the mitosis, the cell replication. There's complex signaling happening over there, right? Sometimes our body uses FM, which is frequency modulation, or amplitude modulation, AM, just like radios, right? It's complex signaling happening. That's what's really guiding all the processes in our body. So if we have the ideal concentration of calcium ion, it provides that needed frequency to get our body really work properly. So there's no errors occurring during mitosis. Uh, if there's too much calcium or too little calcium, then what's going to happen is that the communication is blocked, and we're going to have replication errors that could lead to cancer.
That's right. So what we're saying is that, you know, and as we know, take a look at all the studies that have been done, and you're going to find out something, and that is that cancer is actually turned on or turned off by a frequency. And most people don't understand this, but the genome in the mitochondria is really what we're talking about. And by taking the actual this product, it can actually help to decalcify the mitochondria so that they get back into their proper spin and create that ATP energy that everybody is seeking.
That's correct. That's correct. What happens is, as we're aging, our body cannot really utilize the protein calcium to get calcium ion from it. And all the calcium that we eat, whether it's from food or supplements, it's coming into our system as protein calcium. Now, protein calcium is physiologically inactive calcium. When certain conditions are met, such as you're doing weight bearing exercise, then our body can utilize protein calcium better. But in most cases, with our sedentary lifestyle, we like to lounge around. So what's going to happen is that instead of utilizing protein calcium, we take that needed calcium ion from our bones. But as we age, we actually take out way more than needed. That's why we're getting osteoporosis. But all the excess calcium ion that's coming out from the bone, actually it accumulates in the membranes of mitochondria, and it really decreases the function. So ATP production is decreased, your body temperature goes down, and at the same time, it's going to be the biggest source of free radicals, which damages DNA and RNA and all the proteins, and that's the major cause of aging and cancer.
Yeah, but one of the biggest
Calcium
fuel,
can be
what, if
stored
I
in.
can say this, Jay, one of the
Mhm.
biggest fuels for that is nobody in the history of humankind has ever seen a generation that has been so stressed out. I mean,
Mhm.
most people walk around in terror. You know, they can't even get themselves back into a parasympathetic state because the actual vagus nerve is called the wandering nerve actually gets calcified. It comes runs down just by your ears here. And what we're finding is, and what practitioners are finding, is the vagus nerve is actually being crystallized and calcified so that what happens is it's actually being cemented and it cannot get back into a parasympathetic state, and it actually gets locked down because that's what happened when you're in a sympathetic state. You know, everything, you're just like in this fight flight freeze situation. And because we've been in that for so long, because we know that the media, it creates terror in everyone, and the media actually works. I think that sometimes I actually think they work for the pharmaceutical companies, because the more stressed out you are, the more acidic you are, and the more acidic you are, the more on fire you are. And when there's a fire going on in the body uses calcium, and that's why we have this big calcium imbalance where we're finding calcium deposits in the joints and the tissues, okay, in the organs and throughout the body. And that's why people really need this product to bring the balance back and pull the calcium back into their body and be able to have their body again initiate proper bone breaking or breaking the bone down to release the ions to create this.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, this is the first time in history that we're able to put calcium ions directly in our system. And calcium ions work differently from the calcium that you take out from your bones. The calcium you take out from your bone is coming out together with phosphorus. And there is that correlation there where if you multiply them and it reaches certain level, then it calcifies your entire body. So you can find kidney stones and gallbladder stones and atherosclerosis, and uh, calcification is the major source of and major cause of 147 degenerative diseases.
Yeah, and that's where we really need to stop and take a look at it. But what Jay's talking about is a revolutionary breakthrough in the way that, guess what? Everybody knew this, but nobody wanted to talk about it before because nobody had an answer up until now. So it's better that it's just left alone and we look at other ways to try to help to bring down inflammation, bring down the fire. Because you talk to any functional medicine doctor and they're going to tell you, what is inflammation? Inflammation is actually the invisible screen that cancer uses and disease uses that we can't get at it. That you cannot treat cancer properly until the inflammation comes down. And we know that the inflammation comes down fastest by things such as, you know, ionic calcium or structured water or things of that nature. So now we can actually talk about it.
Essentially, calcium is actually really good for reducing inflammation as well because of its ability to bring our body to ideal pH of 7.4. And it also normalizes the immune response and corrects immune response. Calcium is really involved in reducing inflammation and the pain associated with it. And I really believe that with calcium ion and how it really works with so many processes in our body, how it can really bring the overall health back to where it needs to be.
Yes. So what we're going to be doing is we're opening up the lines right now for anybody who's watching the show. And so if you want to get your questions answered, please call in. The phone number is 888-570-9445. So please call in. But before that, Jay, if it's okay, I've got we'll just do a couple of questions
Sure.
that people have actually sent in. Jennifer from Houston asks, if this product is what you say it is, then why aren't all doctors selling it? Okay, because this is a monumental breakthrough, why isn't it being embraced and why haven't we heard about it before?
Well, now they are starting to hear about it, right? It's
Yes.
really going viral all around the world right now. We are reaching many different parts of the world, and we get tons of calls from doctors and patients alike. I guess I mean we've been really multiplying our exposure over the years, but the world is big, and I believe in the next few years. So many will come and start using our products. This has
Well,
been a breakthrough. So many doctors are so excited after when they first heard about this. Many of them are skeptical, right? Because they have never heard about the calcium ion therapy, and many doctors are really not educated how the calcium may work in our body, right? Because frankly, there was really no calcium ion treatment before. There has been so many researches done how the calcium is related to cancer, Alzheimer's, diabetes, hypertension. You go into PubMed and type calcium ion in any disease, you will find that there's some kind of research done. But yeah, we found that relation, but then there was really no way to bring in that calcium ion in our system. There was no way. Um, all the calcium they're putting comes into our body as potent calcium. It's not in ionic form. And our body cannot really utilize calcium ions from it efficiently. So why talk about something that we have no answer for, right? But now that we discovered a way to put calcium ion directly in our system, and we're seeing actually all these researchers talked about coming into reality, right? We have actually so many doctors out there, so encouraged and they're blessed and they're excited. And soon this is going to be talked about everywhere. I have no doubt.
I have Mark from New England. He asks, my wife is just in the beginning stages, okay, of Alzheimer's. What product's best and how effective do you think it would be for her?
Okay. New researchers have found out that it's actually the perturbed calcium homeostasis that's like the major cause of Alzheimer's disease. When we have calcium ion imbalance in our brain, that could initiate uh, uh, Alzheimer's disease. Now, we have a product called Algigen, which is especially made for Alzheimer's and dementia patients for any the brain issues. So taking the product about 2 times a day. If you want to get the result faster, you can go for 3 times, right? And the results can be pretty quick. We actually had a case, and this is a classical case when I had a chance to speak in Malaysia. After I spoke, actually one of the keynote speakers walked up to the stage, and he was giving his testimony about his mother. His mother had dementia for 3 years, could not remember him, could not remember his children, the siblings, nothing. But then after taking calcium for about 3, 4 months, he remembers everybody. So
So
he was up there
three, four
talking
months, 3, 4 months, and she can remember everyone.
to everyone.
Yes.
And what she likes, what she dislikes, she was making all these demands. There were some complaints about the caretaker, but then everyone was so happy. And he said, my mother's back. Now, what have you seen out there that could do this?
Nothing that I've ever seen. We've
Nothing.
got a caller. We've got a caller. Go ahead, caller. Hello?
Hi, are you there?
Hi. Yeah, we're here.
Okay. I had a question about this, the size, and how long does a 4-ounce bottle last on a regular dose per day?
What? Okay, first of all, what kind
The
of
the Megagen.
Yeah, but it makes a difference. Are you taking the Megagen for like maintenance?
No, I'm have not ordered it yet because I needed to know,
Yes,
for financial reasons.
I
I needed to
understand.
know if I could afford it.
I understand, love. I'm
So
asking you, do you have a certain condition or do you want to take the
yes,
Megagen?
no, I have osteoporosis and I have osteoarthritis and I have severe muscle hardening and whatnot. It's like calcification in the breast. I've had it all,
Okay, so,
and I've got severe osteoporosis. It's in the -3 and the -2.
all right. So, Jay, do you want to answer that?
Sure. All these issues are related to calcium, and there's really no overdose with SAC, and we do have a stronger products than Megagen. Megagen is for maintenance, but
Oh,
for treatment, if you want to get the result faster, then we would like to recommend Maragen, which is our strongest product, which is about 5 to 6 times stronger in effect in our body. So I would recommend that you take Maragen at least twice a day. And then when
okay.
your conditions improved over time, then if you want to maintain it, then you can go down to Megagen.
And yes, and also, if you decide you want to do Maragen, that's Maragen, and you do it twice a day, when you get the product, or you need to let me know and give us a call here, and I will take time with you. I will talk to you about the right water, about the right diet, making sure that you're doing the proper detox. And we will make
Right.
and build a program for you that will be as least expensive as possible. So just understand that. This is not to set you up to sell you a ton of product. And also, if you could go to docofdetoxlibrary.com and look at the perfect day diet so that you could start
Okay.
eating the right foods and getting the right water in, I'm going to promise you something that, you know what? You're worth it, and this will turn it around. Because when you start getting calcification in your breasts and throughout everywhere, we know that. Look, I'm not saying you do, so you don't even have to answer the question. But you're taking in tons of flour products, tons of sugar products. You could be drinking alcohol every day. And if you're not doing these things, then there's a terrorist in your head that you are running.
There's a
You're running at such a high sympathetic rate that you are dumping adrenaline and cortisol in, and you're burning your body up. So if you go to Doc of Detox Library, we can teach you things emotionally and physically, and then with Maragen, you're worth it. It's Listen, somehow get the money and do
mhm.
this, okay? And I will work
Yeah,
with
I
you.
was. Yes, okay, that's great. That is perfect, and I so appreciate that so much. So it doesn't matter then what I'm asking correctly right now because I'll be talking to you in the future.
Yes, and then remember that when you take the product, it's in your system for 4 hours. So if a person wanted to really rev up their healing, and I know that these products are more expensive than other products, but the thing is nothing's ever performed like this. You can go and spend half the money, three-quarters of what we're spending, and not get the results. If you look at the studies, if you look at the facts of this, you'll understand something.
Mhm.
I wouldn't bring something on that costs this much unless it was going to do what it's supposed to do, or I'd get slapped in the
You know what?
face.
I'm not doubting that in
Yeah.
one way, shape, or form. No way, shape, or form. I am just
No, but I'm.
amazed at it, and being I'm in my situation like I am, that was why I needed to ask because if I go ahead and get the product, and then I can't get it when I run out for a few weeks, what's that gonna do? You know what
Well,
I'm saying?
not well, yeah, but long as we have a strong foundation, okay, and
Uh huh.
as long as you're learning how to master your mind, all right. I'm going to tell you something. Let me tell you something. You're only 8 inches from being successfully healthy, and guess I'll show you where that is. It's right here. We got to get this 8 inches, 7 inches under control. And then by utilizing this product, you're not going to back up. It's not like if something happened and you couldn't get this for a few days or even a couple of weeks or so, we're not going to fall backwards. But the
Okay.
thing is
Okay. That was my main question.
we're only going to fall backwards if you're on fire in your mind and if you've got a diet that puts you on fire. And I'm not going to let that happen.
Okay, great.
All
I will
right.
make time to make that personal call to you, Daryl. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, and I'll follow through.
All right, I appreciate that.
Okay, sweetheart. We have
All
another
right, thanks.
caller.
Okay, happy Thanksgiving.
Hey, listen, happy Thanksgiving to you too, and don't forget the food combine. Okay.
No, I won't.
Okay.
All right, bye.
Bye now. Hi, caller. Go ahead.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi there. I've got a question for Dr.
Jay.
Jaley.
Yep.
And I spoke to you before, and this is in regards to me being diagnosed with osteoporosis. But what I would like to know now, and I would like to get an answer, is how much. I see 4 cans on Dr. Wolf's store. What I would like to know is, because I do the right diet, I'm on an organic diet. I really have no other issues besides being diagnosed with osteoporosis, and that's because I asked for the test myself. I have no, there's nothing telling me that I have it besides the bone density test, which you've got to ask for here or you don't get it. But anyway, what I would like to find out is how much is this going to cost per month, just with what I am asking about? Can you give me an answer? I don't need a diet. I have probably the best diet in the world, which is a kale shake, green shakes,
Okay.
and things like that.
Jay, how much
So,
she wants to know how much it would cost her if she is dealing with osteoporosis and what product. Can you help her out, please?
Yes. If you have osteoporosis and you want to really turn it around, because for women after menopause, postmenopausal woman loses about 3% of bone mass every year. And you may not feel it right now, but it's actually natural course. We build our bone up to age about 35, 40, and after that, it's just downhill. For the woman, it actually goes down faster. So right now, it seems like you have lost a lot of calcium from your bone. But guess what? The calcium is still in many parts of your body. It's accumulating and it's causing calcification. It's just it's setting yourself up for other diseases to come. It will happen. So it is better to turn it around now. If you want to do it faster, then I definitely recommend that you start out with Monogen. Megagen
with what?
take over the
Marigen.
long time.
Margen. Margen.
Mhm.
Okay.
So Monogen is a lot stronger, and actually for the money, even though it can be more than twice the cost of Megagen, it's actually 5 to 6 times more effective and stronger. It's potent in our body. So I would like to start out with that, and then after 3 months later or 6 months later, you can do another bone density test. So if you didn't get any,
you can't do that. I'm sorry, but they will not do that in Canada. I know where you are because I spoke to you. Dr. Tony Jimenez gave me your number, and you and I spoke for a long time about this. And
okay.
no, they don't give another bone density test here in Canada, not in the part that I live in anyway, which is the same as Dr. Wolf.
Well, you might have to pay for it.
Columbia.
Well, then you might have to pay for the test then.
Yeah, it's about between about $100 and $200.
Yeah.
But definitely take the product for about 6 months, and the result will be more clear.
How much is the product? Can somebody tell me that?
Well, I think we do have that, the price listing in doctordetox.com.
Yeah,
we do
it's right
have,
on the website. They're all of them are different prices, but it's listed.
Yeah, we do have a global pricing, so it's the price all over the world.
So are you saying I should take all 4 of them, or
just the Marigen for 3 to 6 months, and then you can get another bone density test, and then you'll come down.
Where would you suggest getting it, Dr. Wolf?
Well,
a bone density test.
Your hospital will do it if you pay for it. They just will try to talk you out of that you can't have it. They probably say
in Golden.
Yeah. I don't know where. I'm just trying to tell you that you can pay for it if they tell you you can't have another one that year. And anyways, you might
Okay,
find
the
a doctor.
Marigen
You might find a
is,
doctor that will write you a script to do it anyway. You know, it's not like it's hard clad that they won't do it. You know, I've had people that in Canada that have had 2 bone density tests in 1 year. So
probably in Kelowna they would.
anyway, so
Anyway,
yeah,
just putting
Marigen.
back to the Marigen,
Well, Marigen for the first 6 months.
Mhm.
first
Okay,
3 to
and
6
then you would
months.
come down to the Megagen, MEGA,
MEGA.
Megagen. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, recommended 2 doses a day for at least first 3 months to get there faster.
Yeah, 2 doses a day of the Marigen. And then if you want to maintain and keep that strong bone structure, then you would take, if it's affordable, 2 doses a day of the Megagen. Eh? Jay?
Yes, that's
Yeah.
good. Hmm.
And you have your prices up there,
They're all up there, yes.
Dr. Darrow?
Yes, they are.
Okay. I guess that's good for people that aren't on a pension. If you're on a pension, I say that's a little bit expensive.
Well,
we recommend that you get, we have 2 different sizes, 120 milliliter and 250 milliliter. Definitely a 250 milliliter will offer you about 10% discount when you compare with 120 milliliter.
Oh, that's just a difference in size.
Yeah, but it's actually, when you compare with 120 milliliter, you're actually getting the same amount of calcium, about 10% discount.
well, you know what? Here's where it really stands. There isn't another product that can do this. It's very expensive to make this product.
Yes.
And
Oh, I believe
no,
that.
but the reality is that if somebody really wants to turn their bones around and stop the fire, this is going to do it. And you know what? You already know this if you know me. It's all
I
a
know
state of
you.
mind. It's all a state of mind. You know, there's going to be people who say there's not enough in the world or there's no way we can do this. And then there's other people that will say, I'm going to do this. I got this, you know? So it's, it's really where you
How
come
long
from.
how long has this been out, Dr. Jaley?
Well, it's been out about, we had our first patient treated in 2011. So that patient was the last stage prostate cancer with metastasis, and he fully recovered, and he's still very healthy. And so it's been about 7 years. But then in the beginning, we did a lot of other trials, so we didn't really go out there and then market the product until about 3 years ago. That's when we really started to market after testing thousands of people's bone densities, and we have seen remarkable results. There's really nothing out there that could raise bone density like SCC calcium can. I mean, you can take so many calcium supplements, but then the new studies have came out how if you've been faithfully taking regular calcium, then you actually raised the heart attack risk by up to 20%. So doctors are looking at your bones and it's empty, and then say, oh, just calcium, think that it's going to the bone. It is going to the wrong places except bones.
The bottom line, really the bottom line here is that there's nothing else that'll do this. And so for people who really just want to get in there and get it done, then they'll find a way to do it.
Yeah.
And
also osteoporosis drugs too. It has a lot of side effects, and really there's nothing out there that could raise bone density the way the SCC calcium could. And we do it naturally without any side effects. So just want you to know how
I wasted my $400 on eSorb.
I'm sorry?
So I have wasted my $400. I just paid for eSorb calcium.
Well, we already know that there's not another calcium on the market that works. This is the only.
I just wondered if he knew about eSorb.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no calcium out there
that works.
that can do what SS calcium can. Sigma
Oh, I believe
antibonding
that.
it's a kind of unique kind of bonding that no other molecule here on Earth has stable.
So I would just have to order the 2 of them. Is that right, Dr. Wolf?
Well, the 2 of what? You'd be ordering Merigen, and then you'd be on Merigen for 3 to 6 months. That's what he was saying, and then you could come down to Megagen. So,
Okay.
and he was saying that 2 doses of the Merigen a day, and then after that you would go to 2 doses of the Megagen if you wanted to maintain.
You can
Okay.
start out if you want to take Megagen over the long time will also build bone,
It
but
just won't be as
Monogen will get you
fast.
there a lot quicker.
Yeah, it won't be as fast. That's all.
Well, I am 70 years old, so I think the quicker the better.
Okay, well, we've got another caller, so thank you.
Yeah, okay. Well, thank you guys.
Okay.
And I will order the Merigen and the other.
Merigen to
But
start.
you've got another 2 there
Yeah, but
on your site.
they're for other things. There's Cartilage for the joints. There's Dentagen for your teeth. There's Alzagen for Alzheimer's. So yes, and they have different specific frequencies for helping for different parts of the body, but they'll all help the body, but they just highlight certain things. That's all.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, good
Thank
to
you.
know. Thank you guys.
Have a beautiful night.
Have a good day.
Thank you. Go ahead, caller.
Oh, Dr. Wolf, hello, and hi, Jay. I'm sorry that last caller that you just hung up with kind of got under my nerves. I mean, here you are, a product that just came out on the market that is giving hope to people of all sorts, from P53 gene expression with respect to fighting cancer to helping people recover their bone density when there was nothing else that existed prior to this. And they have the nerve to call and be sarcastic.
Yeah, but you
and
know
complain.
what? But it's okay though. They feel frustrated. But you have to understand. I see where you're coming from, but she's in her 70s, and I think that after a while you get a little bit delusioned and disappointed, and then she just said that she spent $400 on another product, and she's maybe just having a blue day. Yeah.
Well, then you're a better man than I am, because yeah.
No, it's not.
Anyway,
It's not that I'm a better man. It's just, what? Yeah, people get frustrated. Sometimes they feel like there's no hope, and now there's a new person in town giving another sales pitch, So anyways, how can we help you?
okay, this question I'm asking for Mama Coleman. She was in a car accident like close to 15, 16, about 20 years ago, and it tore up her meniscus, and now she's got bone on one knee. I've recommended the Merigen to her. I think she's getting ready to start. Can you tell me, is the Merigen the correct supplement, or should she start with Cartigen?
No. If she's bone on bone, you know what? Jay, am I right by saying go with the Merigen, because it is stronger. But the other thing too is that if she could get some deep tissue work around there, look at, even if you tell me it's bone on bone, and I will tell you this is the God's truth. We have had not just a few, but we've had hundreds of people that were going to go for knee surgery, and they were told it was bone on bone. And we would do the deep tissue, get them on the proper diet, and then use these products. Okay. And I will tell you something, that the knee will rehabilitate itself. Okay. Believe it or not, it will do it. It will do it. They say that it won't grow back. That's not true. It's not true. And I've seen it hundreds of times. We give a money back guarantee that people are not going to go to surgery, whether it's the hip, the knee, the ankle. If they go on like things like these products, and we go in there and use things like DMSO on the knee, essential oils, use like Wolf deep tissue to pull that beef jerky apart, help to release the calcium that's trapped in around the knee, so that the product can go in there and do what it's supposed to do to help to recover everything.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate how charitable you are with everybody, and I really appreciate you trying to bring this product to market for for Jay and his company. And I appreciate Jay's work, and I just really appreciate these products.
Well,
it gives a lot of hope.
We appreciate you, and you know what? This is teamwork. This is going to take all of us. You know what? Because we all matter.
That's right. It's another thing that I add about SAC calcium is that calcium ion's been studied by many different research groups to show that it could really stimulate stem cell growth. So our knee, our joints have chondrocytes that can be stimulated and proliferating and really growing our cartilage back. So
Boom.
we were
There it
able
is.
to help a lot of patients with joint issues.
There it is right there. Did you get that? Everybody out there, you need to take this into your head that guess what? Doing the right product, doing the right treatment, and you will grow the cartilage back. And this is proven. Okay. Listen, if I was a pharmacist, I'd sell drugs. If I was a surgeon, I'd sell surgery. And because of who I am, I'm not going to sell either one of those and tell you that your body will heal if you just give it the right opportunity. And has anybody noticed out there lately that we are being sold that we're too dumb to look after ourselves, and somehow our body forgot to heal itself?
Our body has a tremendous capacity to heal itself. Really.
That's right. Any other comment you'd like to have, caller? I guess
I'll take this off the air. If Jay could please give Mama Coleman the dosage, like how many bottles she'll need to rebuild that knee.
How old is she?
And thank you very much.
How old is she?
She's a very healthy 73-year-old from Korea.
Okay, and what's her weight?
Healthy. I think she's right there on it. Like.
Okay, all right. What do you think, Jay?
Overweight.
Definitely. I recommend 2 doses of Monogen and 1 dose Cartigen. So Cartigen will work actually better for the cartilage, and Monogen will be there just build everything up all together. So 2 doses and of Monogen and 1 dose of Cartigen.
So basically,
okay,
let's put the fire out, let's jack the immune system up, and let's rebuild the joint.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, I think we have another caller. Oh, no, we're good. We're good. Okay, we're good. So anyways, until we get another caller, Jim from England, he wants to know exactly how does the product Merigen actually work on cancer? How does it work on cancer? Because he was saying that his wife is now dealing with breast cancer and it's actually spread to her spine.
Okay. There are several ways that SAC calcium or calcium ion can fight cancer. One is cancer is very acidic. Most cancers, like a carcinoma, is acidic. It produces lactic acid. And this lactic acid makes the microenvironment of the tumor slightly acidic. And when it goes on to 6-2, it essentially shuts down our immune system. The T cell function and NK cell function and cytokine production, all that will go down. And so our immune system cannot see the tumor. But there's really nothing out there that could really neutralize lactic acid like calcium ion. Calcium ion will make calcium lactate, and then it will neutralize lactic acid. It's going to bring the pH around the tumor back to 7.4. And then what's going to happen is that our immune response is going to turn back on. And now it sees the tumor and then starts to attack, right? So, and not only that, it's been shown through other researches how calcium ion, when the homeostasis is established, then it supercharges our immune system. So our immune system becomes so much stronger, right? And has a more correct response. So that's one way how calcium ion can attack cancer. Another one is there has been many researches done already that calcium ion can turn the function of p53 gene in our cells. Now, every cell has p53 gene, which is responsible for cell health. It's a guardian of the cell. If there's anything wrong during the mitosis and cell replication, then it is actually this p53 gene that turns, it checks all the cells, and then if it's repairable, then repairs it. Then if it's not repairable, then it goes through apoptosis. So, but most of the human cancer cells has this p53 gene turned off. So until now, the cancer therapy depended on taking care of cancer from outside, whether it's radiotherapy, chemotherapy, whether it's immunotherapy, is attacking cancer from outside. But why not cure cancer from inside? Let cancer come to the right mindset and then see that a lot of things are wrong with it, and then commit suicide. That's what p53 gene can do by turning it back on, but it's done by calcium ion.
Beautiful. So I have another question that just came in, and this is from James, and he lives in Los Angeles, and he says that he's been diagnosed with prostate cancer, and he wants to know how effective, or if you have any case histories that you can speak of. And he's 50 years old, and that have been successful using the product.
Could you repeat the question, please?
James from Los Angeles, prostate cancer. He'd
Yes.
like to know, he's 50 years old,
Mm-hmm.
if you have anyone else that around that age that has been successful with prostate cancer.
Oh, like I said before, our first patient was a prostate cancer, last stage prostate cancer. He was 70 years old, last stage with liver metastasis. Taking SAC calcium for about 6 months is cancer-free. And then it happened in 2011, and now 2018, he's still healthy.
Jay, what was he taking? Like, was he doing only 2 dosages of the Merigen a day, or was he doing like more than that?
Well, back then it was when we were first trying out SAC calcium. We didn't really know that it would have that much effect on cancer. So actually, this patient was Dr. Pauli's friend. Dr. Pauli is the inventor of SAC. And then he actually came by his office to say goodbye because he was actually, he knew that he was going to die, and he wanted to stop by and then say farewell to Dr. Pauli. And Dr. Pauli recognized that he had this calcium bottle in his hand and asked him, why are you taking calcium? Said, well, I was prescribed to take calcium from my doctor, my oncologist. And then Dr. Pauli suggested, I have a better calcium that I can give you. Maybe you can try this calcium. So back then, we didn't really have Monogen, Megagen. It was, I guess, the strongest product, Monogen. And then it was given to his friend. And the next day, he actually called. They called him and said, what is this that you have given me? And he asked, why? Because I could not urinate, but now I can urinate much better. So he started to take this continuously, we believe about 3 times a day. And then about 6 months down the road, he's cancer-free to this day.
Excellent. Excellent. Okay. And I've got Kenny, and he says that he has rheumatoid arthritis. And he's also asking, do you have any, how does it work on rheumatoid arthritis?
It works for the rheumatoid arthritis in a way that how it corrects the immune response.
Right.
So, SAC calcium is very effective in correcting autoimmune disease. So your body will not be attacking your own cells. right? So not only that, it reduces the inflammation around the joints, and then it clears all the calcium crystals and deposits, and then it stimulates the chondrocytes to rebuild what's been damaged, including the cartilage. So these are the ways how rheumatoid arthritis patients can really recover. We actually had a doctor here close to where I am in Long Island, doctor's wife. She tried so many different stuff for arthritis. That she had rheumatoid arthritis in her hands. Her hands were all crooked. And after taking SAC product, she felt so much better. She could function normally. So the way that SAC calcium can work for rheumatoid has been it's been really exciting.
And if I can add something, you know, since we've been using these products, Jay, and then doing deep tissue, we're getting people that have rheumatoid arthritis in their joints, but also in their toes and in their hands, where the hands are totally distorted. And between doing the deep tissue that we do, and by using the calcium, you'd be so surprised how fast we're getting their joints right back to working normal again.
Right. Yeah. It's going to be very strong working together.
Yeah. Okay. So Sandy says that she has her son who's 11 years old, and he's 3 inches shorter than his average that he should be. And she wants to know what is the effect and why she was told by somebody that it may help her son increase his growth. And how does that do that? She wants to know.
Okay. Believe it or not, I think that the numbers from Canada that about 49% of infants are born with calcium deficiency. Now, this is a big problem. It's a big problem. We do have children growing up. Now they're munching on all these junk food, right? Fast food. And,
right.
So there's a big calcium deficiency out there among kids. And SAC calcium is good for really helping them to reach their full stature because it really bolsters osteoblast, which is the bone building process in our body, right? And then we have SAC calcium's been also good for correcting ADHD. And if the kids were discovered with autism early on, then SAC calcium can also help to pretty much reverse that. So early on, if all these are discovered, then SAC calcium has a very powerful effect, especially for kids.
That's amazing. We have a caller. Hi, caller.
Hello.
Hello.
My name is Jessie, and I can't get you online. It's not showing on the website. However, I'll ask the question that I have. I've been using your SAC Maragen, and want to know how long to wait between that and any other anti-cancer treatments.
Any other anti-cancer treatments? Okay, so maybe you could explain to Jay what's going on, Jessie.
I had a large melanoma removed from the sole of my foot about 4 years ago, and the same year we saw on an MRI lesions in the liver. They were an MRI categorized them as hemangioma and cyst. At that time, they said they saw 4 cysts or 6 cysts. And a recent scan showed multiple cysts. So the medical system is still not able to figure out what that is. They, however, told me that they can do nothing about it because it is categorized as a hemangioma. I should not feel any symptoms, but I do.
Okay, so...
And so I can literally tell, if not for that cleansing tea, I don't know how I could manage. So I'm extremely grateful for that cleansing tea, and I can honestly say that Maragen has done less for me than the cleansing tea.
Yeah, but you have to understand the daily cleansing tea You know, its job is to help the detoxification systems in your body to work more efficiently. Now, remember that the Marigen, how long have you been on it and how many doses are you taking? Because the bigger the fire, it might take a little longer and you might have to do a little bit more. So how often are you taking it and how long have you been taking it?
Twice a day. I think it's almost 2 weeks now.
Okay. Well, if you've got a chronic situation, sometimes you have to do it like once every 4 hours, 4 times a day. But I'll let Jay
Right.
take. Jay, would you like to talk?
Yeah, I agree with you, Dr. Wolf. At least 4 times a day.
Yes. Now, I will tell you that Lori, my partner, she fractured the tibia and the fibia, and they wanted to rush her into surgery. And look at how well we eat. And meanwhile, she's got osteopenia, but it's not really great that she's not able to stand on it. But they wanted to rush her into surgery. They wanted to put 2 plates, do 2 screws on her, and so anyway, she's on it, and she takes it. She takes it 4 times a day, and then she takes it again if she wakes up at night, because every 4 hours it leaves. It does what it needs to do, and then you can do it again. So you're better off to go in and, if you can, Jesse, and do it 4 times a day. Because you know what? It's like this. I tell people, you know what? If you're working with a 10-foot hole, don't bring a 5-foot ladder. It's going to take a while. You know, sometimes you've got to ramp it up at the very beginning and then let it take it'll take hold. It's as logical as going out in the rain without an umbrella. It will take hold, but it depends on the situation. It also depends on the stress in a person's life, what type of water, how much they drink. Are they on more of a whole plant-based diet? But I know that you're doing a lot of different things, but you know, really the stress is a major one too, because nothing eats up calcium more than a stressful situation. But Jay, do you have anything to add to that?
But very well said, Dr. Wolf. There are so many factors that really aggravates cancer. I mean, we definitely have to approach cancer holistically because it's systemic disease. What S6 calcium can do is really bolster that effort, and at least 4 times a day. We had patients that take it even 5 times a day or 6 times a day. It's been really effective in combating cancer.
And if I can say something, Jay, and I need to say this to everyone, you know, people will say, this is how much I'm worth. Well, I tell people this. Mm-hmm. You need to get the money it takes to do what you need to do to get yourself there. This is not about driving sales. This is about honoring yourself enough to actually go in and correct a deficit. Remember something. We don't get cancer because, you know, we stepped in it or we got unlucky. All right? You got to make your luck. And how you make your luck is by going in and correcting the payments that have not been made. Your body's like a Visa card. People get sick because they go way off track emotionally, physically with their life. They know that things aren't going right, but because we're not taught to look after ourselves. And I don't know if anybody notices, and this is not a Braveheart class, but listen, that's all part of unconditional love. People can only do for themselves by how much they love themselves. And some people say, well, I don't have the money. You know what? I've seen people that come to me that have been chronically ill and they find a way. You know, they don't give up. They find a way and they do what they need to do to honor themselves and to get well. It's when we think there's no way out, we think we're limited, but we're only limited by our beliefs.
Right. I have a quick question here. It's only the ionic calcium that's the most important part, is it?
What do you mean only the ionic calcium?
The liquid ionic calcium, which is targeting cancer cells or whatever, osteopenia.
Whatever the situation is, yes, it's the SAC calcium. It's, you know, it's the only calcium of its type that is like this.
Right.
Yes.
So it's the liquid ionic calcium.
That's correct.
Right. And my question still did not get answered. I I'm on the Gerson therapy with juices and coffee enemas and pancreatinine and stuff like that. So what is the time I have to give between taking the SAC, calcium, and any other supplements or medication?
Okay, well, I've never heard you ask that question till now. So,
Okay.
well,
But I just asked that when I started the call.
all
But
right.
that's fine.
So yeah, I think that what we want to do is you want to try to give a 30-minute gap. Am I right about that, Jay?
Yeah, definitely. You would like to take, you should take SAC calcium, mix 5 milliliter of it to 500 milliliter of water. It's 1:100 ratio. And
Right.
take it in an empty stomach. And between doses, you like to give about 4 hours. Your stomach should be empty and give at least about 20 to 30 minutes until it's fully absorbed in your system. And afterwards, you can take some food or other supplements. But take SAC by itself and leave it in there for about 30 minutes before you take anything else.
It comes down
Okay,
to
so other
you've got
supplements are all right after 30 minutes.
you've got 3.5 hours in between dosages to actually do eating and other supplements.
Okay. Right. That's good. Thank
Okay.
you.
You're welcome, and I apologize for not hearing your question at the beginning.
That's all right too.
Okay, thank you. So as you can see, I mean, this whole calcium thing, has been a struggle for functional medicine doctors, people in the health business, not just lay people. So now we've got this whole new paradigm shift that something will actually work. And you know what? It's like this. Once there's enough people doing this, as there's thousands around the world doing it, but in time, you'll see your neighbor will be doing it, your family members will be doing it. And then when people start seeing the results to this, it won't make it so hard for them to wrap their head around it. Just because it's never been done before never means it's never going to get done, because now it is getting done. And we found a product that will be efficient enough to do it. You can spend tens of thousands of dollars and go around the globe searching for something that you can just get and do. And you know what? The one thing that I can tell you right now is that I've seen in my business is people say, I don't have the time or I don't have the money. And then all of a sudden they have the time and they have the money. So I really believe it's just got to do with value. And I say to everyone out there, we've been taught to make ourselves into a 911 emergency before we'll even take a look at what we really should be doing for ourselves. And again, it comes down to unconditional love for yourself and making those first steps. I mean, how many people out there will actually do anything for their family, but when it comes to themselves, that sits on the side of the table until there's a crisis? Anyways, I just want to ask you another question, if I could, Jay. We have a gentleman, his name is Rico, and he says that, I've got a couple that are related here, 2 questions. Rico says that his teeth are starting to get small fracture cracks, and it seems like they're actually crumbling. And he wants to know, well, I can answer, but I'd like you to. He wants to know which product will help his teeth. And in a situation like that, how would he take the product, and how long would it take usually before you would see some kind of difference?
Well, we do have a product specifically for that. It's called Dentigen. Today, collagen can be actually added on to any of our treatments to really speed up. So if you could just add another 1 dose of Monogen, definitely it's going to speed up. Our mouth, we have a really strong and powerful stem cell. It's called human periodontal ligament stem cell. Now, it's what really builds the root cementum, and then it also builds the alveolar bones, and it's also good for strengthening the gum tissue. Overall health of your mouth can be improved by taking Dentigen. If it's severe, 2 times. And if you want to really get there faster, if you could add on just 1 more dose of Marogen, then you get there a lot faster.
Excellent. And then I have Wendy, and she asks, she got a couple of teeth removed, and when it did, there was an infection because she got them removed because she had root canals, and they caused infection. And what happened was, is she said that part of her jaw, the bone actually deteriorated. It became necrotic, and she wants to know what they want to do is they want to do surgery to fill that in. And she's saying, would Dentagen actually fill it in and help to repair her jaw?
Yeah, we had a similar case for a 50-year-old man had a tooth infection, and it eroded away parts of his jawbone, and was extracted. About 10 months later, the entire socket was filled with new bone. We recommend Motagen, especially when you have infection like that. And if you have a bone necrosis, Motagen 3 times a day, because it's serious if it's not treated properly.
Okay, excellent. And I have one last one here, and it's from Susan, and she's from Quebec, and she wants to know, she says that she's healthy. How much should she take? She says she realizes that the Megagen is for maintenance. And how much would she take just to prevent, because she says she's 28, how to prevent osteoporosis from happening because her mother had it severely. What would she take and how much?
Well, she could take, if she's 28 years old, her bones is still building up to age 35, 40. But then to really build strong bone till then, because you want to have a lot reserved in your bone until your sex hormone and growth hormone declines. To do that, just once a day, if you're young and healthy, just once a day of Megagen will do wonders.
Okay, excellent. Now, what about when somebody, okay, there is one more. And Jim wants to know, he's 87, and he says his bones are crumbling. I don't know what he means by that, but they're crumbling. So if I'm not sure what he means by that, crumbling, but I guess he's not in great condition. So what would he take for that?
Well, if he's over 80 and his bones are that
87.
80, wow. Then definitely I recommend strong dosage. Motagen 3 times a day.
Yeah.
For about 3 months. And then maybe he could reduce the dosage to 2 doses a day and 1 dose. And hopefully the time will come that he can just get on Megagen 1 dose a day. But definitely recommend to start off strong, because if he says his bones are crumbling, then his bone health is severely compromised.
Absolutely.
And also one thing it's important is that if you are on some kind of osteoporosis drugs, any bisphosphonate derivatives, then these drugs actually keep the calcium from coming out from the bone, but then it also keeps calcium going into the bones too. So definitely recommend the patients get off these drugs and wait about 3 months until it really goes out of your system, and then you begin to see that the bone mass is increasing.
Wonderful. Well, all I know is that I'm really glad to been able to bring this product on, because in the time that we've had it here, it's been a blessing to my patients, and it's created a whole different hope, right from teeth problems to Alzheimer's to joint problems to cancer, because we all know that calcium is an issue, and but we've never ever had an answer up until now, not one that would actually do what it's supposed to do.
I know. SAC calcium's been just amazing. We're so glad. I'm really glad that I'm really in this line of business where I can see that the patients truly helped, and we're bombarded by all this good news. They wouldn't leave us alone. Keep sending us texts and emails how well they're feeling, and it's amazing.
Yes, and I'm sure they're going to keep on coming too. You know,
Mhm.
it's great when we can bring natural health and science together. And this is one of those times when, you know, when a scientific breakthrough is actually a health breakthrough. So, unless anybody has any more questions, I think that we've answered a lot. And for those of you who haven't watched the four-part series, I would suggest that you go back to the Calcium Connection. You'll find it on docofdetoxshow.com, and you'll find it under Doc Talk. And I would suggest that you watch those that four-part series, and you'll get more information about what really calcium can do for the body and how effective it is. So we have another caller. So, caller, go ahead.
Hello.
Hi. Go
Hey,
ahead.
Daryl. This is Joe. This is Joe from California.
Hey, Joe. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. Just wanted to ask. I'm 62 and joint pain. So, which one and how much?
Jay, do you want to take it away?
Yeah, joint pain, any joint issue, we like to recommend Cartilage. That's what it's made for. But if the condition is severe, then you can always add on Maragen once or twice a day. Depends how fast you want to get it done.
So yeah, Joe,
Okay.
it's like this. The more you take this, the faster you fill it in. Long as you're doing it once every 4 hours, there's no wastage. So it's like if you took like 2 Maragen and 2 Cardigan, am I off, Jay, or am I pretty close?
Well, you could. I mean, the more you take, you can actually get there faster.
Yeah. So, or you could do like 2 Maragen and it would just take longer. So, if you're the type of person that, you have a budget, or if you're the type of person and you just say, okay, it's not that bad, but I want it gone, but you're not in a hurry. I mean, everybody has their limit of pain, I guess. And everybody, some people say, I just want this done. So it depends on the person.
Yes.
Okay.
And I like
how many milliliters is each dose?
but 5 milliliter into 500 milliliter of water. So it's 1:100 ratio.
Okay. Okay.
Not hot water, but we prefer the colder water. And it could be any kinds of water.
But I know, but structure is better. I mean, if we have structured water, there's no surface tension, and it's your carrier. I mean, even though it's ionic, it's going to go anywhere, but let's make sure the water is got no surface tension.
Mm-hmm.
We've got structured water.
Well, then you're ready to roll. So,
Okay.
and if you
Thanks,
can,
Daryl.
and if you, Joe, make sure that you just reduce the stress and get a whole plant-based diet in there. Make sure your bowels are moving well, and trust me, people out there need to understand the ionic calcium is going to do its job anyways, even without that. But the thing is if you're not stressing out and creating a fire, and if you're getting behind your body and behind this product, it's just going to give you results that much quicker.
Does it? So I know you're supposed to have a balanced amount of all the minerals, magnesium and potassium, also, and sodium. So will the ionic calcium throw the balance off at all?
No, you're not talking about a calcium supplement. You're talking about an ionic therapy. So you need to try to get that. You know what? We're way past that. This is talking about frequency. This is talking about energy. This is about triggering the chemical and hormonal processes in your body and say, hello, we're young again. Let's get there.
Okay, I got it. Don't worry about it then.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
All right.
Okay. All right,
like
Joe.
Thank you.
Of all the other
All right,
minerals.
have a great evening. Bye now.
What,
Okay.
Jay? What were you saying?
Yeah, I said calcium ion is like a leader of all the other minerals. If calcium ion homeostasis is established, then all the other minerals work together much more efficiently and effectively.
Yeah, it's like, you know what? It's not the orchestra. It's the orchestra leader. So everybody needs to understand that. It creates the music. It is not the music. It creates the music. We have another caller. Go ahead, caller.
Hi, sorry, I have one more question. This one's for me.
Well, you get
Dr.
one
J.
too. You get to have one too. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, great. Dr. J, I have mercury poisoning from dental amalgam. I'm going to be having the first 3 removed in sections of 3 at a time.
Mhm.
I was sleeping on a grounding mat with silver thread, and I was able to speak to Dr. Marcel Wolf, and he kindly informed me that that's not a good idea because it's a big antenna that's adding to the antenna in my mouth, causing the mercury to off gas. And long story short, I started to develop an EMF sensitivity where I can no longer sleep on the grounding mat. I'm starting to get headaches up at the top of my head. Will any of these calciums help with mercury removal of the brain?
Okay. For the mercury poisoning, I know there is the chelation that could really help to remove mercury. Calcium ion has shown some chelating property, removing mercury as well. But until now, we didn't really have that many cases that we are so sure of that really that we could say that, hey, this is it for mercury poisoning. We didn't really have that case yet.
Okay, I will tell you though
Okay.
that the ionic calcium will help, but if you use the pineal product that we have with the life crystals in it, because it crosses the blood-brain barrier, and if you use the actual fulvic liquid concentrate, then I'm going to tell you something. It's going to capture the mercury. Okay, that's what it does. Okay, so take a look at those
excellent.
two. Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Have a beautiful day. Okay, so I think we've done pretty good, don't you think, Jay? Yeah.
So they had really good questions.
Yeah. And we're going to also have Jay back in the new year and probably around the second week of January because there's going to be a lot of people taking products. I mean, people don't realize how much ionic calcium actually leaves the dock of detox. The SAC calcium is, well, if you saw the orders today, I think that we actually put out probably about 80 orders today, just today. So, you know, we're going to have a lot of people on it. So we're going to have Jay, if he's willing, to come on here at least once a month and answer questions for people because this is a revolutionary scientific breakthrough. And there's going to be questions and people are going to be giving us really wonderful case histories because Jay and I can talk all day. You know, we can just keep talking. But, you know, we do have the science. And if you go to the Dock of Detox library, we have the SAC Ionic Calcium booklet there. You can read it. And we also have a slideshow with slides that you can go through it. And you can also call me at the Dock of Detox anytime you want when you've got questions. And I'm going to answer them for you. But actually, what's really going to show this is all the testimonials that we've got coming in. So that's why we're going to do this once a month. And we're going to be talking about testimonials, having people call in with testimonials and show you that there's not just hope, but there's more than hope, that the body will heal itself when you know how to turn it on with the right proper signaling devices. And I said signaling devices. I did not say supplements because the SAC is an ionic treatment that actually signals the body and helps to turn on, basically reverse your age, helps to turn on your youth, helps to bring you back to where we should be. And understand something, 47% of the children today have osteoporosis. So how much azo do we need to get out there? And how much do we need to wake up parents to the fact that they're adulterating their children? And also, we need to wake up to the fact that our government's not going to protect us. Corporations are out to sell us anything that will put in our mouth. So we need to understand something, that if we're not going to learn how to master our minds, to master our bodies, then we're going to get ourselves in trouble. Jay, is there anything you'd like to say to anybody before we close off?
Well, I'd just like to say that honestly, because I have experienced it myself, and the people close to me also experienced, and so many. I mean, this is not just a hype. This is something that really works. And if you're going through, guess a lot of the pains and sufferings, and why not give SAC a try? It's definitely worth trying.
Why not give yourself a try? Why not?
Mm-hmm.
You know, you deserve it. Everybody out there, you deserve to be healthy, and you deserve to be happy. And this is why we do these shows. This is why we have, if you go to the Doc of Detox show, you'll find 5 different shows. And also, for those of you that would like to know, I'm going to be doing a show next week that's next Friday. And it's where the mind goes, the body follows. And then the following week, I'm going to be talking about inflammation to cancer. And then in both of these, I'm going to be showing why this ionic calcium is a major breakthrough, not just when it comes to the way that you emotionally work in your life, but the way you physically function in your life. And understand this, that you deserve to be healthy, and you deserve to know how to look after yourself to become healthy. We've been given the wrong manual. We really have. And this is a major piece of that. And Jay, I want to thank you for coming on today. And is there anything that you'd like to close off with?
Thank you, Dr. Wolf, for inviting. Looking forward to sessions coming, and looking forward to hearing the actual testimonies from people who have tried this.
Well, we're going to do it. Like I said, once a month, we're going to be on here. Hopefully Jay has the time to come on here, and we're going to have testimonials come on, because guess what? It's teamwork that makes the dream work. Okay. So let's bone up together. Okay. And get healthy.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Wolf.
Thank you. And I want to thank my audience for being on here. God bless everyone, and happy Thanksgiving. Okay. Don't forget to food combine, and have the best day of your life. Take care.